But finally, we're ready to jump on into things as we move over to Nuke. Furia versus TeamOne sees a T-side start for the favorites of Furia, and certainly the favorites coming into this map as they picked it, and we've seen them dominate here before. Whilst they have got recent losses to the likes of NRG and Liquid, they beat Astralis here twice, and have only lost this map, if memory serves me correctly, 3 times out of like 21 or 22 plays. As Biddy manages to take down Vinny, though, this is a decent start for TeamOne. Furia, who are definitely hailed for their terrorist side on this map in general, we're going to see the beginning certainly not go their way. As Barton holds down with the USP on the site, Abel J was looking to peek him and has been spotted out, but eventually starts to back off a little bit. We go into a 4 versus 2 with 1-for-1 trades, which normally isn't great, but TeamOne pulling back the kills and finding the advantage. It's all onto Abel J to try to pull it off. He's rushing towards Ram, spotted long range, and Maluke is up close to finish him off if needs be. And indeed, needs be. A 3K for Maluke as we come into a 1-0 start. TeamOne are looking good. Just noticed in the Twitch it says Mitchman Cassering. I'll introduce myself. I'm Mitch, usually called Mitchman Casting, but it's good. It's good. We'll roll with it for now. Might change the name. Sounds good. But anyways, guys, as we look towards this series in general, the maps that we're going to see unfolding before our face. I mean, this round shouldn't be too much to talk about. I'm hoping it's not, as Furia just come in with a couple Glocks. We do want to see TeamOne get off to a decent start. So the maps we're going to see are Nuke, Furia's map pick, Overpass, the map pick of TeamOne, and then finally Mirage, the final map, and one where I think Furia have the best chance to close out this series. Whilst I do imagine they'll take Nuke, Overpass, it's a little bit shaky for them and looks a lot better for TeamOne in general. Certainly a map that I prefer TeamOne on recently, as we don't tend to see quite as staggeringly strong of a performance from Furia. Well, when I say prefer TeamOne, I kind of mean versus this map, right? In my opinion, it would be quite surprising if we see double digits come out of TeamOne coming into this in the opening map. But still possible. I've actually seen Furia fall over and over past a Party Astronauts, which is an interesting one. Been lots of upsetting matches so far the last couple of weeks, but as we move over towards Long, Yuri's the one to open it up. He was a little bit late joining the server, had some PC issues, but now things are hopefully sorted out. As we move towards the opening duel, going Furia's way, I mean, TeamOne obviously playing this round as a bonus with all those SMGs in play. Managing to find a couple of kills here is really their objective and the best they can expect. TRK doing so much already with 2 on the board. I think this is really what I expected at best from TeamOne, so a little bit more damage would certainly help to manage that T-side economy. You can see there's lots of bank there for TeamOne for the next round, but the same is not to be said for Furia. Art is going to try to perform a little bit of a push through that smoke with the Mag 10 in hand, catches one off as Barton goes down, and he's able to escape with his life. TRK definitely not able to do the same, as IDK is going to be the last alive. And I don't know if he's going to be able to find more, but at least that 1 kill against Art leaves Furia with only 2 players, and that's a staggeringly high loss for them coming into this round and into the start of their round streak. As I said, Furia tend to perform fairly well on the terrorist side. I mean, we've seen them close out maps with good T-side performances and good CT. Up against Astralis in the last match of the ECS Season 7 finals, it was a 10-round CT half that ultimately closed them out with the victory. But then you think back to the other game where they found an 8-7, 8 rounds on the terrorist side. So they can definitely do it on both sides, and I think that's kind of why we so heavily favor them in this matchup. But the opening duel going down in favor of Barton with a little bit of control towards Secret for the T's, though it's a trade that could be worthwhile for them. With the ability to potentially go down there and make the plant happen. Switching through the players' perspectives to see if anybody's down there, and we catch Biddy, but just as he dies. Going down to the floor, and as Bit falls, so too does Maluke. It's all down to a 3v3 with a little bit of HP damage done to Abel J. Nuke, such a terribly difficult map to observe, at least for me. Yuri, oh my god, that Molotov almost completely destroyed him. He's left at 28 HP. IDK goes down in the back as he was coming through secret, and now both players on ramp. It's been heard. This is a problem. Barton was sneaking down, but now there's a player up close and personal. Yuri waiting for a peek to come through. He's flashed in, but the flash actually catches him. And a little bit of a problem develops now for Furia as they only have 2 players left. TeamOne start to barrel towards his bomb site, but AbleJ is able to catch at least one off guard, leaving it into a 2 versus 1, and TRK out in the open. He decides he doesn't want to go for this. Hasn't got a whole lot of time. No kit, and indeed nothing like a smoke that could even assist him in going for this defuse. Even if he had a smoke, inside a smoke at 36 HP, defusing without a kit, it's going to cause you a lot of problems, as they'll quite easily spam you down. So a second round secured for Furia, but again, not securing too much of an economic advantage with the amount of reinvestment that they have to put into this. So I'm curious, you guys let me know in the chat, who's your favorite coming into this series? To me, I think Furia win this 90% of the time, if not more. But for TeamOne, I reserve a little bit of hope. Just because I really do see a possibility for map 2 to go their way, and then perhaps as we move to Mirage, if we're seeing a slower performance from the likes of K-Serrato and Yuri, 2 players that I think have been relied on quite heavily, coming into Nuke at least. There's Yuri, final one from behind as Bit goes down. TeamOne only have that one AUG to play with, though. This is their real hope at getting a little bit of damage done in the round, so we'll take a look at him and what TRK is going to do. Well, getting shot in the back was probably not the game plan. So Barton really just has to play for an exit. And this round is one that obviously should go to Furia every time, pretty much. TeamOne just looking to get themselves a couple exits, maybe save a weapon, but it's not going to happen. As the third goes on the board for the terrorist side, here's where TeamOne reinvest. The problem with how that round played out, though, is the fact that what we commented on previously, that Furia hadn't yet gained control over their economy. Well, that all changes when you go through a round without losing a single player. TeamOne now on the back foot, because even if they do lose this round, look at the cash that's in play for Furia. With the bomb plants and the round wins, not losing a player as well, it gives that huge cash injection. So TeamOne don't get a free round for just winning one, and it's a bit of a problem because, again, we've commented that whilst Furia can be pretty good on the terrorist side, we've also seen them dominate T side as well. Or CT side, even. Spams are so damaging. Nuke already doing a lot. Yuri wants to peek out and get through the smoke. Goes back for the peek, though. A good move as Maluke was just about out of ammunition. Art takes down Bit, trying to drop behind. He's eliminated in mid-air. But they don't know that IDK is here. Without anybody having challenged towards Secret, they should suspect it. And although they don't, the trade goes through immediately. The angle wasn't quite right for AbleJ to be taken down. And as a bomb plant comes through, TeamOne are left with an SMG and an AUG to try and pull this off. Vinny not getting too much done. And Barton, again, he's got nothing to work with, really, that SMG in play. I mean, I don't want to be too one-sided coming into it. And whilst Fury have been playing really well, they do have occasional upsets. Like I said, Overpass, they lost to Party Astronauts 16-8. With that being a pretty good map for TeamOne as well. There's potential for at least one map to go their way. But realistically, you don't expect all too much from TeamOne, and that almost gives them a little bit of a very small edge. Just the fact that there's no pressure on their back. You know, it would be nice to take a map off Furia, maybe even 2. I mean, you got to remember, there was a time that if you said to someone, I think Furia might have a chance of taking out Astralis in this best of 1. They'd laugh at you. And then even after they won that, yeah, but now it's a best of 3, you know, Astralis going to stomp them out. They have no chance of taking, oh, look at they won. It's that kind of situation, right? You can definitely see why they're so heavily favored, but It's nice to root for an underdog. We talked about the economy game and how it was playing out, and in fact, since we've discussed it, things have only gotten worse. The fact is now Furia have a stacked economy even more so, and the opportunity to bring that even further. Nice nade early on. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, though. Doesn't do any, really. As Art holds on outside, he's got to bail out. Survives on 1 HP. I thought he was about to be taken down, but no one else was there to swing out and eliminate him. Surely this can't be another round with 5 alive for Furia. Oh, that's just dominance. Dominance in physical form. Look at their money. Man, that is going to be so difficult for TeamOne to fight against. If this was TeamOne building up that kind of economy, it would look a little bit better. But the fact that Furia already outweigh them in terms of firepower, and now you're looking at a situation where if TeamOne lose this, they're on an eco. If Furia lose this, and one more, and another one after it, they're still able to get a buyout. It's an awkward spot. Game sound too low. Alright, my dude, I will hire it up just for you. Hopefully that will be good for you. Do let me know. Not usually a producerino. Nice push around the smoke from Art. It catches Barton off guard, but the 1-for-1 trades go down at least. That was something to look to. But it doesn't last too much longer. As he eventually goes down, it's now 4v3. Vinny on 30. Towards heaven. Okay, Serrato trying to spam away. The nade's going to do a lot of damage, though. As Bit and Maluke were pushed back off the angle. Only 20 to each, and again feeds into why CS nades can be a little bit confusing from time to time. Nice shot by Abel. And as it's all now onto Bit to pull off a 1v3, you gotta not believe in him all too much. Yuri doesn't even use the scope. Just goes straight in with the hip fire on 6-2. I mean, things developing pretty much as we expected. And Furia, like we said, being a massively dominant force coming into this in general. Coming into any game, you can give them favor, and that's the beautiful thing about it. I remember casting Furia a little over a year ago in the IEM Chicago qualifiers, and they did really well. Excuse me. We were kind of surprised by them. Myself and Dean, we said, you know, these guys could have a little bit of potential later on. You can definitely see him in case Serrato was definitely a standout player in that whole tournament, the whole qualifier. But man, oh man, you did not expect them to rise to the heights they're currently at. Great damage done by Bit. Look at that double, but the nade is ultimately too much. He can't escape it down the ladder. And so 7-2, another round for Furia. TeamOne able to get a full buyout here, though. And the thing is, looking around like that, yeah, Bit had some great kills and he did some good damage, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. Look at how much money is built up for Furia right now. Yuri literally has $15,800 and no way to spend it. Like, that's ridiculous. And it's gotten to the point where I think Serrato has just bought up his own AK instead of getting a drop. Although they've also called a timeout, so that's a bit weird. I would have liked to see them just wait a little bit. Vinny and Serrato investing heavily. They could have just asked Yuri for a weapon. I mean, he's going to be max money next round anyways. But as we come into the round, the pause subsided. Both teams did have technical issues as we came towards things. As we tried to start the game on time, obviously we were hugely delayed. First it was Fury and then TeamOne had their own tech issue, but that was obviously a tactical pause, so not too much of an issue there. I'm surprised that they're calling tacticals this early, because so far it hasn't necessarily been the tactics that overwhelmed. They are playing well around the smokes, but really just winning out these aim duels on a consistent basis. As Maluke finds one, though, they might be a little bit scared about going towards the B site, with not a whole lot of utility to push him back being in play. That one smoke goes down, though, to completely cut him off. Nade through. Doesn't deal as much damage as it could have. Art surviving on 32 HP, and the spam through the smoke not quite as reliable as you would hope. Furia don't want to plant just yet, though. They know the TeamOne are going to come out for this. They know they're going to try to force the issue. Even though no call was made about a bomb plant, and they know they can't come up through vents, TeamOne keep on trying to get aggressive. Well, eventually the bomb's dropped, at least. Put out in the open, and they know it's going to be commitment to this side with that. But the problem is you've only got Barton left alive, and he's very quickly dealt with. Yuri coming in once more to shut him down. And whilst we've talked a little bit about Queserado, I mean, obviously, himself and Yuri have had fantastic games, most recently against Astralis on Nuke, but Abel J, 11 for 4 right now, dominating those early duels. I'm curious, let me get the trusty HLTV scoreboard up. Gotta compliment the good old HLTV. They do a lot that you can't get in-game, and the most important thing to me, a factor I'm surprised Valve haven't integrated themselves, is opening duels. So far, in fact, 3 have gone towards TeamOne. This time, an immediate trade goes through. Not something you usually look towards with too much favor on the CT side, but as they manage to extend it into a man advantage, this could be dangerous. Furia, whilst they're a favorite team, TeamOne can hit their shots from time to time, and they're about to charge right into Bit. He's locking down ramp with a Mag 7 up close as Vinny creeps around 46 HP. He shouldn't be surviving this headshot straight away. Swings out to take Abel J, and he lands it as well. So much money in an AK taken over. It's all onto Yuri in a 1v4, and this round should be TeamOne getting their first buy on the board. Not that it's even a buy. It's such a weak investment, but the Deagles, alongside the beautiful Mag 7, make it work. And not only is Furia up against 4 players, but they've all got a stacked up economy to play with her hardware-wise, as you've got 2 AKs and 2 SGs rocking through. Maluke is able to take it long range as well. And that's the round. TeamOne pull it off on the force buy. With plenty of cash left in the bank, because it wasn't even like a full force. They had a little bit of money left over. With the loss bonus, they definitely would have looked amazing. As the CTs call a timeout, and in a round like this, it's definitely time to call one, but at the same time, you've also got the situation developing where if they lose this, again, they're going to be back up able to buy. It would only be Maluke that's kind of struggling a little bit, taking out the AWP. Might not be so easy for him in the next round, but luckily Bit's got a little bit of cash, so he could donate over an AVP, and then obviously he's comfortable enough holding down with the Mag 7. We've seen a lot more XM 1014 usage, the auto shotgun, which I like to see. Especially on Nuke CT side, you can hold over towards A with it pretty easily, as they can't push into blue if you've got that shotty in play. IDK takes some hefty damage early on. And now barreling towards the side itself. Furia want to take A, but although the bomb went forward for just a second, they eventually pull back. Still fighting behind those smokes. Nice nade going through. Yuri's in danger! And he goes down. The Kobe successfully landed. And a man advantage early on for TeamOne. Furia eventually going to push towards this A side. TRK holding down here, but he's going to be caught in the back. Oh my god, Arts picked up 2, but doesn't expect more to be on the bomb site as TRK is eventually taken down. Oh, Maluke tries to get aggressive, tries to force the trade immediately, but it's not working as there were 2 players right below him and 1 over towards main. This allows a bomb plant and puts Bit into a 1v3. He's had some good rounds before. That one with the Mag 7 especially, but unfortunately this time he has to push into them. And with time not on his side and no utility to work with. And obviously, a 2-man disadvantage. I think the best call here is to just save that AK. It can be useful in the next round. As you can see, Maluke doesn't have a lot of money. Although we don't expect him to take a rifle out himself, Bit will probably drop him an AWP. And if he already has armor and an AK to work with, that certainly makes it a whole lot easier, as he can just maintain that AK-47, buy up a little bit of utility. And there's a kill to go down. Now, the problem is they know exactly where he is, but they probably won't force the issue. Queserado dies to the bomb. But again, it's just too late to worry about economy damage. Fury can lose all of their players in every round. If they're winning, they do not care. They have plenty of cash to sustain those kind of losses. Whereas the same cannot be said for TeamOne. Again, if they lose this round, it will be a situation that is looking dire as can be. Bit dropping over the AWP as expected to Maluke, and leaving Bit with the AK-47 and utility, and still 2,200 in the bank. But if Furia win this round, you are likely to see an eco come through, which would grant 11 rounds to Furia, And that's not a position you usually see teams coming back from. Smokes towards outside early on as they push on through. They've got that secret control to work with. It has been heard, though. IDK can hear them barreling towards the B bomb site. Who have we got down there? Nobody? Okay, Bit's the only player there. We've seen him actually die a couple times getting behind that box, but this time he makes it there in time. Starting to move towards the side. Hopefully nobody's going to throw a flashbang towards him. They're not even watching him, but the bomb is safe behind that silo, so he's not able to do a whole lot about it. Left now into a 4 versus 3 with the rotate coming on in. Bits taking a fight on the site. Molotov goes down, but the nade cannot be dispersed as Art up close has already found himself the frag, and with that, TeamOne are locked out. Oh, would they at least find that one kill? The Molotov as well. The nade goes down. That's going to do some serious damage. Down goes Yuri. The shot onto Vinny. TRK's in a 1v1. Managing to pull it back all by himself with that 2K. Smoke goes down, but Queserado with the perfect timing peeking. That was pretty dangerous by Queserado, though. He didn't want to allow him to get inside the smoke and start defusing. At that point, it can be very scary because if he taps that defuse and walks around the silo, well, you've got to go challenge him. You've got to run in the open. As soon as those doors open, you give away your position. Now you have to gamble that either he's going to peek you or that he's going to stick the defuse. Puts it into a very 50-50 situation, and that alone. So probably a good call to take that swing the doors open as he heard him jumping over, and obviously just after deploying the smoke, he was almost on the verge of catching him. Taking his gun back out. Whilst I think he could have shot, obviously, reaction time just wasn't there to swing around. Straight away, 2 kills come through. Yuri and Art. Auto Director doesn't want us to see any of them. Hashtag covering up cheats. As Vinny falls, though... Okay, never mind. I was going to say somewhat of a hope begins to develop for Team 1, but it doesn't look likely. TRK is known to be up close, gets eliminated straight away by Queserado, and now Bit again climbing up a ladder. He always seems to be caught on the verticality as out towards the spawn. He was suspecting it at least, but Yuri comes out on top in the duel and puts it 11-3. Now Team 1 again, with the economic decisions made in the previous round, don't have a full buyout, but they will have to invest as it is the last round of the half. So far, we've seen Team 1 win out 5 opening duels and follow through on 3 rounds. I think you can largely put that down to the fact that when they found openings, it seems like almost instantaneously, Furia not only find one back, but they come through with a double. Oh, is it Queserado? I've always said Queserado. For 1 whole year, I've been misnaming him and no one's told me. I'm very sorry. Oh my god, that's the first time I've seen the spam actually work successfully. His Bit goes down to 40 HP. I like that though. He's just spamming through as he runs back towards the back of the ramp to make them think that he's spamming the smoke and out of there. But Maluke is here. They claimed a little bit of control, at least with the frags going down. Art's managing to pull one back on outside. Knows there's a player in heaven, but they know that he's making his way through outside. As Barton tries to catch him out, it's not going to happen. Just hard up the game sound a little bit more for you guys, so hopefully that's nice and balanced for you. Do let me know if you're liking it, if you're loving it, and if you're feeling it. As Queserado goes down towards the B side, claims that control. He's going to plant open for ramp. They've already got that player in position. He's been spotted out though. They know he's behind the box. Yuri's in a little bit of a hot spot right now, taken down by Maluke. Team 1 do not want to finish this with 3 rounds on the board, and it's very possible that they find this 4th. Art is miles behind. He has to go down the vents, and he'll make a lot of noise as he does it if Queserado doesn't survive long enough to allow him to walk down. They haven't spotted him just yet. Eventually they do, though. As Bit falls, there's so many angles he can be peeked from right now. So unlikely that he comes out on top in these engagements, so it's all down to Art. The bomb is at least planted for him on the double doors. Smoke goes down! Maluke's caught with an nade in hand, though, and he knows nobody's tapping that defuse just yet, waiting for him to do it. TRK goes for it, but Art swings out, and he's ready for him with 2 HP left. He wins out that engagement and puts it 12-3. Not only that, but only 1 full buy round went over to Team 1, and even that was not a full buy round. They won the pistol and the round after, and then that one where they had the 2 deagle kills and the mag 7 hold up close. The name's not Queserado, don't believe it. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I've been what's the word? Bamboozled. That's the one. The way you're saying it before, Queserado's better. Alright, I'll swing with it. There is a 1-minute delay on the stream, by the way. Have to put it there. For legal reasons. So apologies for a little bit of a delayed response. But I appreciate you guys letting me know. I always doubt myself when it comes to it. But I've cast these teams a fair bit. It's been a while since I was casting Furia, but TeamOne certainly I've got to see a lot. We saw them in the IM Sydney, I think. Definitely the Chicago quals just recently. Hopefully I'll get to a LAN with them at some point so I can actually ask them. That's what I did with fours. Just asked each player, how do you say your name? So that it could be clear. And I was saying them all completely wrong. And that's only Russian. Whoa, Art takes a lot of damage to open it up. TeamOne now know that they've pushed him back with that dink going through. So at least that's a little bit of info for them, that ramp is clear. But they decide to barrel towards the ace side, where Queserado's at least able to do a little bit of damage. Pulled back somewhat by Furia as it's into a 3 versus 2. Art is super low, but he's not being checked. Coming up behind with a CZ, that's going to be a dangerous combination. I think he did a little bit of team damage as well. They spotted at the final player towards heaven. IDK though. Oh no, out of ammunition. Yuri was able to survive by just jumping around. Now he's being covered long range by Art. Although he's 2 HP, he's head peeking towards the box. The swing comes out. IDK finds one, but not the second. As Art ultimately does enough on 2 HP, finding those final 2 kills to push them over the line 13-3. It's Caserato. Like this. Caserato? Caserato? Let's hope. And Doctor, not only the 86% win rate that they have, it's the fact that they're winning against some of the best teams in the world and putting up a good fight when they don't. They never get stomped out here, and although TeamOne are good, look at the teams they're playing. Oh, they're caught in by the SMG, but only 1 kill goes down. At least a little bit of hope develops. Able to pick up 1, but now they could be swinging in on him as a team to try and shut him down. They know he's pushing. IDK was ready for it, but the smoke from the grenade just caught him off a little bit. Now a Glock on bit shouldn't get too much done. And you're left onto part and just waiting for them to come up, hiding beneath. This has never worked in all the days I've seen it. The problem is, as soon as you're spotted, you are just completely stuck. You cannot move. And as Able J walks away with a 4K, that's going to be 14-3. A very nice scoreline developing for Furia early on their map pick. This is the thing. This is the problem right now for TeamOne. They've pretty much lost this map. It's T-side Nuke. Furia are a good CT team. I don't expect much from them. But what we can say, what we could say rather, is if TeamOne had a decent scoreline here, well then they've managed to contest it and maybe we'll see them do better later on. But the fact that every single buy round has seen them just get not only lose but get destroyed in. Like Furia had 16k on most players, or very close to it, 12k plus I'll comfortably say. From the whole mid to late half. That's such a massive problem to allow them such heavy control. I doubt we'll even get a chance to see that heavy control on the CT side as they come into this fully investing as much as they can, walking away with a couple kills already. AK upgraded by Caserato, we go with. As it's into a 5v3, Art just gets aggressive with the op, and the thing is as well, they're not playing stupidly aggressive as Art just runs in. Maybe they are. Trades go through. It's still a 1 versus 3. I mean, in this position, you can afford to play that aggressive. As Caserato eventually walks away with that. Oh, okay. So Caserato was right. We're going full circle. We went through 3 different pronunciations as I'm trying to understand the Portuguese, right? But we're good. I was right the whole time. Why did I ever doubt myself? Well, it's because of the hundreds of times I've been wrong. In this situation. I've even, so if you guys know the opper for 4s, so most people call them like XZ power or Z power. It's actually like the power. It's X power or something like that. I've completely forgotten. He explained to me how to pronounce it. I've forgotten now, but it's basically nobody was pronouncing it right except for the Russian commentators. But 15-3, I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, look, maybe TeamOne pulled this off. Maybe it's 12 consecutive rounds. The odds look good. They look good, 11.18. That's very conservative. I would have given them about 30. 30 times odds. Now taking bets. Look at that, just trained on Maluke through the wall. Wall hacks. Wall hacks, sorry. A little bit of a cough there. As it comes to a conclusion, 16-3. Obviously, it's only a joke. That's such a dominant scoreline for Furia. And I mean, I feel bad for TeamOne coming into this, obviously, as huge underdogs. I think they've not really shown us any of the potential that I've seen from them in the past. They've never been a terrible team. But I was definitely hoping for a little bit more from them. As we come towards the end of that map, though, let's see if they can reset themselves and carry it forward into Overpass with a little bit more hope. I certainly pray for that, because at the moment, things are looking pretty bleak. But at least they have the small advantage with the next